Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're moving now into our second segment for the morning. Now, this one is going to be a conversation with none other than Allyson Hidalgo. And she'll be telling us all about her book. She is a poet as well. She's got deep thoughts. You know, I'm going over some of what she's got here, and I'm like, whoo.
Yeah, deep. Cutting deep.
This is what you call thinking deep. Her book is called Throwing Away My Thoughts. She's the author of Throwing Away My Thoughts, and she's on Zoom for today. Allyson Hidalgo, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you today?
I'm good, and you?
We're doing great.
How is Arizona? I hear it's hot.
It is warm.
What, Belize kind of hot or Arizona kind of hot?
They have a different sun.
No, here it's like really dry, so
like
it's not the same.
Stop here.
But Allyson, it's so nice to have you in with us this morning. And like we mentioned, you've got some serious thoughts put together in this book.
Lovely.
Now, tell us about yourself and how long have you been putting thoughts together like this?
I've been writing for about 5 years. I started in high school when I was about 15. Now I'm 20. And I decided to just put it all together and release it this year.
So we've been looking at some of your poetry. Well, we've been reading some of it. Can you explain to us the artistic thought process that goes into how you do your poetry, how you write your thoughts?
So when I start feeling like overwhelmed or something happens, and I usually write down whatever I'm feeling immediately, and then maybe I'll go back to it later when I want like a little me time to like do my writing, and I'll go and sort of expand on it and just find similarities somewhere else. So like riding a roller coaster is one of my big themes that I like using to explain overwhelming feelings. And so then I'll just compare the two together and see what feels the same and just go on from there.
Allyson, I read the front part, and it says Allyson Hidalgo, a poetry collection crafted to inspire women. Tell us about that. Why inspire women?
I think a lot of it is that I feel there's no space to feel, and I want it to be known that it's okay, that your emotions are totally fine, and you should be allowed to express them in a way. And so I wrote this book in order to let others know who are feeling the same way. It's totally fine, and you should be able to express it and let others know, talk about it, and feel okay in doing so.
Well, Allyson, you are. This is your first publishing, I imagine,
Yes.
and you have published it in Belize for Belizeans. Talk to us about where we can find your book and the cost.
It's 50 Belize, and you can find it at Blue Bakery, or you can text 615-1370 to ask for a copy.
Okay.
So 5 years since you have been, since you've been 15, you've been putting things down. Was it tough to put thoughts or throwing away my thoughts together? You've got a lot of stuff in here. As a matter of fact, you've got over 140 pages. How tough is that? I mean, 5 years good enough for that? Was that it? Tell us about that.
That was not all of them.
Really?
Yeah, I just chose 66 of my poems. And the thing about me is I like write multiple poems based on one event or one feeling. And so I had a lot to choose from. It wasn't really hard to put it all together. It was mainly making sure which ones were the best that I wanted to put. So yeah, and I have so many more, and I just keep writing, and so I'm excited to continue writing more.
How did
That's
you
so nice.
select the ones to
The
put?
66 that you, that
How
you
did
chose to
how
put in
did
there.
you choose to do that?
I chose a couple of themes that I wanted to go on, especially depression and anxiety. I feel that's my biggest problem, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. So those were my biggest themes in the book, and then I chose others that I feel like other girls go through as well, that are big.
You know what? You're actually touching a really big topic there, because we know how vocal folks are right now, or in today's day and age, in terms of suffering with depression and anxiety. I'd like for you to touch on there some more, because we'd like to motivate people to try to put things or thoughts together, and then they find it very tough. They prefer to not say anything or not do anything, or might not know which avenue to take. What would you advise somebody who is suffering like that to try and put their thoughts together and try to put it out? It could be very therapeutic for them.
I would say, don't worry. I felt the same way. And you just have to find your creative outlet, whether that be writing it down or painting something, drawing, or even sports. Sports is such a great way to just release that energy that you feel that you can't tell anybody or put into words. That is such a great way. It's helped me. But for me, it was writing. And you just go on from whatever feeling that you have and ramble on.
Then one more thing that I'd like to know. We're looking at some of the artwork that you've got in the book, and we got to understand that your mom is an artist. Tell us about your mom.
Yes. So my mom has been painting her entire life. She loves it. She's a pathologist, but that's her little creative outlet that she likes. And so she's been painting her whole life. So my entire life, I've just seen her always painting. I think her art is amazing. And she didn't ever really want to do anything with her painting commercially. So I asked her as a favor. I was like, hey, I want to do illustrations with my book. Do you think you could help me? And she was more than happy to.
Sure.
No, I read your poetry and I look at the illustrations, and it's sort of like a visual effect for what I'm reading. I think that I connect more with the poetry because there is this visual artistry to look at. So talk to us about how those concepts developed in terms of the art. Did the art inspire the poet, or did the poet inspire the artist?
I think it's one and the same, because as I was writing, I had some images come to me, and when I read them back, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what it is I want to portray if it were a picture. Yeah. Because at times, even I like drawing, and because of my mom. And so whenever I was reading them and trying to pick what to put as the art, I had an image with the poem.
I'm looking through the book, and I found one that I really like, because there are a lot of people with Monday blues. There are a lot of people who look at Monday and just hate Monday because, oh, it's Monday and it's a long day, it's a long week.
Those people are me.
I tend to feel that we should accept Mondays, because Mondays have us with great appreciation for Fridays. So let me read this one. I will try to do my best Allyson Hidalgo.
I think you'll do it justice.
So here we go. This one is called A New Perspective. It says, I like Monday mornings. It's the start of the week, and I haven't messed up anything as yet. There's hope to fix what has been done. and a potential for greatness. That's why I like Monday mornings. The sense of a new beginning, to make something great, a chance to turn things around for the better. What went through your mind with that?
Well, it was a Monday morning. And I was in high school. This one was a long time ago. And the weekend was a little bit messy, but I felt like, well, you always have to wake up the next day and start anew. Yesterday has passed. The past is in the past. All you can do now is focus on the future and what you can do now. And I felt like that's a great way to see a Monday morning.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't like Mondays, and that was also a part of it. I was like, oh, it's Monday. But I was like, no, let's be better, let's do better. And that's a great way to start, is on a Monday.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. There's one more I'd like to read here.
Yes,
Come on here, Prince.
yes,
Don't
yes,
believe it.
yes.
It says, this one is called Slow Down, and I'd like your perspective on this one as well. It says, if you move too fast, you'll miss the love. Your kid grew up, now you wish you could go back. If you move too fast, you'll miss the beauty. You missed it. The flower bloomed, but you had to go. If you keep moving like this, that's when you decide to miss it all. Just be in the beauty with me for a second. Why? What's up with that? Slow down.
I like that.
I felt like I was moving too fast. I felt like life was moving too fast. And I just wanted to feel like, just for a moment, life was a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Just so I can enjoy that moment. And it was me and my mom in the car. We were driving, and the sun was rising, and it was so pretty. I was like, wow, Mom, like, park here.
Yeah.
Look how pretty it looks. The sea's there and everything. It was just so great. And I was like, we need to like slow down and appreciate these little moments more.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I love
Allyson, that's
the
beautiful.
art, and you're talking. So the concept makes sense because this is the illustration that goes with the poem that John just read.
Yeah.
And listening to your story, I understand it even more now. I really like that one.
Allyson, you are an inspiration to a lot of young ladies out there. And again, I'd like, because, just being on here and expressing your thoughts, you become a role model, especially for people who, might not know how to express themselves. Again, why should I express myself? What's the importance of expressing self?
Well, if you don't express yourself, you keep these emotions and feelings inside. And I feel like after a while, it starts to become like a glass that's already full. And everything starts spilling out in ways that you don't want it to.
Yeah.
And so it's important to like empty your cup sometimes and let that water out so that new things can come and go.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
this. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, one of the things that you alluded to that really got to me was actually expressing your emotions, and this is where us men have a hard time expressing our emotions. And I'd like for you to speak, especially to the young men out there, the importance of expressing their emotions. Why should they do that?
I know my book says crafted to inspire women.
Yeah.
But I only say that because from my perspective, that's all I've known.
Yeah.
But it's so important for men as well to express their feelings, because a lot of times men hold things back, especially their anger,
Yes.
and let it out in ways that we are so saddened to see. They get violent and everything, and that's not okay. You can let out that anger. There's so many ways, through sports. You don't have to do art if that's not your thing. There's sports, there's exercising, there's even some music, you know?
Yeah.
There's so many ways.
Have you thought about writing music as well? Because I feel that you would be a very good composer.
I actually have, but I don't know if that's the journey for me just yet.
Okay.
But she's still young, so
Yeah, 20 years old.
she has the time to figure that out. But John and I have been going back and forth and just reading your book, Allyson, and I really like this one.
All right, let's hear
So
it.
this one is Hope from the Sun. The sun rose just right above the clouds, shining in my face, and this is what it said. Yes, you will be better, and you will soon shine as bright as me. You will be yellow and orange, a shiny gold. That's what the sun showed me. There is light. Even after any dark, endless tunnel, there will eventually be light. There is light and hope, and I will find my light. I will be golden, just like an early morning sunrise. I love that. You're a morning person, aren't you, Allyson?
I used to be.
What?
I used to wake up every morning to go to the gym at Radisson, and I feel like they had the perfect little just drive by the sea, and you would see the sunrise, and it was just amazing. I loved going there for the sunrise.
And now you're no longer a morning person?
Yeah, now it's a little bit harder.
I can imagine that one. But
So when is your next publication? Because I know that you've got hundreds of poems.
she says 100, right?
Everything is inspiring to you. I think, as a matter of fact, following this show, you'll definitely want to write something. I
should write a
expressed
song.
my mind.
Yeah.
I was asked questions, and the questions were answered so beautifully.
There's your poem right
There you
there.
go, right?
My poem
Allyson,
right
do you have an next publication coming up? This is great.
Yeah, love it.
Thank you. As of the moment, I have no plans for a next publication. I do want to write a little bit more to make a new book, maybe have a specific single theme for it. But this book has been doing so great. It's even on Amazon now. I feel so proud of it and empowered. I really do want to come out with another book, but I think I want to have a specific theme for this one instead of multiple topics.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. This sounds
I love
great.
it. We wish you
I've
the best,
I've
yeah.
got one parting shot, but we want to wish you all the very best, Allyson. It's so nice to have you in with us. It's so nice to meet you, and we do hope that when you get back home, that you're able to once again visit us here in the studio, and we have a good conversation about this one. What do you say?
Yes, that would be great.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, it's so nice to meet you. You know, strange Belizean, because September time everybody at home.
Yeah, what you Arizona? What's going on?
I'm studying biochemistry, so
Wow.
I'm here studying.
All right, so because you're studying biochemistry, we're going to leave you with this one. 70 chances could have been given, but the story would still end the same. Insanity doesn't have to be reached. So close the book and don't pick it up again. It's nice to meet you. We're going to chit chat with you another time. Thank you for joining us, all right?
Have a good day,
Thank you
Allyson.
for having me.
That's the way it is.
I love it. I love it. I love that she's a biochem student that is able to express herself through art. That's
All right.
You don't always see that, but
We're
with
going
that,
to take the break. When we
Yes.
come back, it's all about the moon. I mean,
You ready for coal? You ready for some mang?
Boy, I tell you what, J&J Steakhouse, we've got the reps in to tell us all about how the business is, what they do, and we're ready. You ready for taste?
I ready for this?
I'm ready to taste as well. We're going to take the break. When we come back, J&J's, we'll be chit-chatting with them. That's when we come back. Stay with me.